close to the main stand so as you can see them.
Are they going round again, Dave, or are we going to line them up now?
I think we'll line them up, don't you?
There we are.
It looks as if we're not having... oh yeah, there's a few more coming, Bernie. So if Gordon will come up to the top somewhere here, Gordon.
Go down end, okay. I'll let him come to you then, Dave.
Yeah, okay, if he comes up here.
Yes, fine.
Smashing, and follow on, drivers, please. That's it, just a couple of foot will be ideal.
Do we have any more cars coming into the ring?
Stewards, is that it? Right. And while they're lining up, ladies and gentlemen, please do go around the cars there, and don't be afraid to ask the exhibitors. Some are more than happy to discuss things, some will just have a card there, but that's the reason they bring them. And the man hours involved.
After? Yeah, when they're on the...
They'll all get in this. There's only 5 of them. Right. I think we haven't got it on the field here, but while we're waiting for people to line up, something I've learnt yeah, there you go, coming around there, Model T Ford. We all think that, if you have a look, it was Packard which first had the factory which made mass-produced cars. Packard were the company that made the cars that Al Capone drove and those sort of things, and what they did was they made luxury cars. So unfortunately they didn't have a market for everybody who had got that sort of money, so it was Henry Ford that then took over, and everybody believes he was the first one, but it was Packard who were the first company to make cars commercially. Traveller that's now decided to come and join us was coming up from London about a fortnight ago, and there must have been a meet in the Birmingham area, and I was quite surprised at how many minis I passed. Probably 40-50 minis of various forms. Clearly people very enthusiastic.
Our membership section for the club, and obviously you've been here this morning, you've introduced the mayor around all the stands, you've come in MGB. Can you tell me a little bit about it, please?
It's a MG, it's on MGP, MG Magnet. It's a ZB, 1957. Right, car stewards, they're exiting the arena now, please. All very quiet, ladies and gentlemen, as they go by, which is a good sign, no tappity. The enclosed wheel arches there. That's it. There we go. The Volvo ST. You can actually hear the old Ford working a bit, the engine of it. Right, horse stewards, quietly bring them into the ring now, please. There we go, all the family in the back there, the youngsters. What of course we had in agriculture was originally the man, he went down into the ground and got a stick and rooted about and planted a seed. We then seemed to manage to be able to design some form of plough, found it was too hard pushing it or pulling it, and then we engaged horsepower. And of course horsepower is a phrase that has remained with us right throughout. So these guys, these were the workhorses of... No, right, wherever you would like to stop, my dear, and line them up. So just to give you an indication of the size of these animals, ladies and gentlemen, you can all see that I'm not short, and I'm 6'5". So when I get to these horses, you'll realise what big animals they are. Now then, throughout recent years and for some time prior, a gentleman Right, here they come, the tractors. Very popular as a hobby and getting more and more popular, I think, every year, the collection of vintage tractors. Two schools of thought: buy one and do it yourself, or buy one that's done up. It takes a long time, not necessarily a lot of money, but a long time. It really is a labour of love if you buy a tractor and restore it. Different schools of thought. Some of the tractors you'll see here today will be nice and shiny, and they'll other true enthusiasts will turn and say to you that they should be dirty in their original livery. They don't want to be seeing them all nice and shiny and I'm sure a lot of you know, but the tractor, well, what hastened the change in the tractor was the First World War. We'd had a big loss of men in this country, and also horses, so we didn't have the horses to work the land, and that was, of course, how the Fordson came into being, care of Henry Ford. In the UK, we only account for about 2% of agricultural vehicles in the world. We play at it. Unfortunately, the people in Ukraine now, well, I mean, if you see the fields in Ukraine, and what is, it's very talked about in the news now, AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of modern tractors with GPS can go into a field, and they don't have to do anything. They just know exactly where they are. Certainly in America with the combines on the corn flats there, you'll have a guy in an office and he's sitting there and he's driving 6 combines all at once. And perhaps where we see a combine with only one reel on the front, there'll be 3 or 4 reels on it. So artificial intelligence coming into agriculture, and a little bit of a shame really. These sort of vehicles, you learned as you went on. In the background there you've got the old threshing machine and baler coming in. That is what followed on to the heavy horses, those sort of things. And although it's now being towed by a tractor, that primarily would have been towed by the steamers over there. Originally the steamers, they'd be at one at this end of the field, one at that end of the field, and then they'd have a big plough and the wires. The plough would run on wires, and the one would pull, the other one would pull it back, pull and pull it back. So it would be nice, and we have thought about it, if we could take you through the years of agriculture, showing you how we've progressed. Some of you lads, go on this end to keep the noise down. Yeah, come on this end, some of you.
Dave, we'll have the thrash machine at the end here.
That's it.
And we can bring him round the front.
That's what I was. Thanks, Bernie. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just to tell you that we can't switch the field marshal off. The field marshal has to run. The reason being, the field marshal has to run because it started with a cartridge, a gun cartridge. So it's one of those, once it's going, you have to keep it going. So, right, well, we're not going to obviously be able to get round everybody, but we'll try and... Right, so it's now stopped. So now they're going to have to swing it to start it. So we've got a couple of volunteers. This gentleman here, he's going to do it for you. So this is how you used to have to start it before you had a key. There you go, he's done it many times obviously. Well done. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a pure agricultural show, but there are many side shows and different events. Oswestry show is the 5th of August. Always a good day out and a big occasion now with a tremendous amount of attractions. Okay, let's have the steamers. Let's go. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is a big example. Really is a dedication, well, or a hobby that requires immense dedication. You'll probably, if you're in the stand or looking to the left there, you can imagine on today's roads, but you can see in the back there's a purple tractor unit. These are transported on large low loaders, and the cost of doing such probably at 5-6 to the gallon, and they travel quite some distances from the Midlands and places like that, so we're very appreciative. When I was telling you before about a plough at one end of the field and a traction engine at the other end of the field, that first one leading us off, you can see there's a big wheel round underneath it, and I would imagine he'll confirm that that's what that was used for then. What you can certainly see on the second one coming in, you can see the chains jangling. And of course the chain steer, that's again is on a wheel at the back, so on a cog system, and it's chain steer. The smaller ones, everything is built to scale. So everything you see is built to scale. Before they made that big one up there, they would have made a little one. So in the day, rather than spend £20,000, they spent £2,000 on a scale replica, made sure it worked, and then they went ahead with the big one. Apparently you can still buy the smaller ones, the replica, the scale ones. Anything between £16,000-20,000 will buy you a good version. I believe you can spend more. One of the biggest problems they have now, I believe, in an ever-changing world, is obtaining the low-grade coal. You can't use the coal that you use on the fireplace, they tell me. It burns too hot. It's got to be a low-grade coal, and apparently now they do use some wood on it, which does help. I would think there are some of these today have got some wood in them. in the firebox, based on the fact that you can't see much smoke coming out the chimney. I suppose while they're coming round, I could also tell you that these were the first, I suppose, camper vans really, because they went round the farms. As you see in the boiler come towards you now, that was an oven. Anybody wants a bit for the roses? There's a rather large pile here, but it'll be a bit too strong for about 12 months. Yeah, and as I said to you, you can see on this now while it's going past, you can see the steel cable underneath. So that now would have gone and parked at that end of the field, another one there, and then they would have drawn a plough up and down or whatever they were using. There you go, a young man here, he's driving it. And it looks like a riveted system. Oh yeah, they love their whistles, these guys. They absolutely. So come behind this one, please. And the little ones go to that side. I tell you, it would be easier with sheep. There we go, we've got another 3 or 4 small ones joining us. Oh no, 5, there's a bit of a mechanical fault over there. Do you need the and that? He said, what's the matter? I said, your son says he can't get in through here. He said, well, I bloody brought it in for the last 5 years. So I goes round to the son now and I said, you're in for it when your dad sees you. He said, what? He said, well, I can get it in. Can he drive it or not? Son puts it in the gear. I'll bloody show him who can get it in, he said. And ladies and gentlemen, we got it in there. Oh, you did it in the dark. There you go. You've got to have a bit of humour. So come on. If you would, tell you what, again, educate us. Perhaps could you come and tell us what's different to this, whether it would have been used for a different purpose or... No, but you mean your engine, you might say, well that was used there, ploughing or whatever. What would this one have been used for?
Rolling the road. Where they destroyed them, we mended them.
There you go, you see, competition as always. So this was for rolling the roads, so presumably it's a totally different type of composition, a wheel or whatever.
It's a steam roller. Nowadays they're diesel rollers, aren't they? You see them on the motorways and so. But this was in 1929, the thing to have.
And would that have been its only function, to roll the roads, or would it have been used for anything else?
No, it was designed just for rolling the roads. Yeah.
And again, for the people, to show them the steering mechanism here, underneath, that it's a chain-driven one, and it's also dry as well. Does it take a lot to keep it like this? I mean, obviously you you treat the copper and the brass and everything like that. Do you have to spend a lot of hours maintaining it?
Yes, it's a total commitment. But Stephen does most of it now, because I've retired from it.
There we are. Well, yes, and they both enjoy it, and they bring it every year, and it's a pleasure to see it. And is there anything still of this company in Leeds or not? Is there anything, any history where it was made in Leeds? Yeah.
John Fowler's is a big engineering company. They made all sorts of stuff. They made ploughing engines, agricultural engines, steamrollers, ploughs and such like. It was a big engineering business.
Well, thank you for telling us that, because we all tend to tell me, do they employ any braking system, or is it merely on cutting the power and then waiting to stop, or is there any brakes?
Yes, there's a band brake. And if you're quick enough, you can wind it down.
Right, a band brake. As I've said to other people, you know what a band brake is, we don't. Tell us what's meant by a band brake, or show us. Yeah, let's learn.
You see this drum here? There's pads in it, or would have been wood at one time. Wind the band on, and it actually pulls that mechanism and tightens it onto the drum. The band.
Right, I've got that now then. So wooden brake pads housed there, and as he tightens that on, it's the same as applying pressure like that, but obviously you would need a constant pressure with something like this to get it to be to work. We wouldn't be able to manually operate it, would we? Yeah, it's quite effective. Good, yeah, because it learns us all. Right, do you reckon this young man knows anything about his engine? He's here busy. He's looking black. Is this yours? It is it? Or is he making you do all the work? No. In terms of weight, I mean, I know everything is momentum once you get it going, but obviously if you've got to go uphill or downhill, you've got
Right, as you can see, ladies and gents, we've got the commercials coming in now, and got some local wagons. This one has spent most of its working life out of the Monera quarry, owned by Owens Timber Transport. The commercials, we've got 3 and 4 at the top there. You can probably see the other vehicles, all the tippers, flatbeds coming to the ring now. Are you going round again, man? Go round again then. We'll line you up back up here afterwards. This has been a recent restoration. in the last couple of years. I think he did come to the event last year. Another club member, which is a recent purchase by Paul Williams, Scott's great little coach, which was used from the East Coast, which used to bring them across to Blackpool. I think keep on bringing them round. Very nice. I'll catch you in a minute for some more information. A great working van back in its day. One of the original Ford Transits. Pick up and proper builder's wagon. Very popular in the 70s and 80s. Quite a rarity now to see one of those on the road. Another local member from Monera or Croydon. Stratford, the bus company, their original recovery vehicle. A nice Thames. Displaying now, nice ERF tractor unit. Afternoon. Many about, no. So, what's all the work we got? Does it need more work doing to it? Bit of body work. It really is, it's good. Really, it's very good indeed. Oh, did you? I did, yeah, it's good. Yeah. So, do you use it, do you get commissioned to use it for any other work? You can go out then.
Tell Barbara what your dog is. Bruno, what is he?
Land Rover student, you want to get the Land Rovers in, please, get them ready. Calling the Land Rovers in after the commercials.
The brown and the white. Yeah.
They are commercials, bring them round. Thank you for displaying. Land drums, are you ready to come in? Let's get these commercials out. Thank you, commercials. Ladies and gents, for those who are walking round and going browsing around the stalls, if you've seen the station. I'll let the military ones go round again.
We having no military, Bernie?
I think that's it, Dave.
Oh.
Any more military want to come in the ring?
Neil, where are you, Neil? I thought you'd bring the dread machine in.
Go on, military, go round once again.
Where are you now?
There we are, we've gone for an angle now, that'll do, that'll do. If we have the military over the other side here, please. Here we are, ambulance. Bring them in here, great. Fantastic. Got John's 110.
Yeah, very pleased with it, goes very well. This morning when the brakes started going in.
Is it okay now?
Well, I backed in, I reversed it off and touch wood.
Be alright to get you home.
I'll get home, it's only 13 miles.
Thanks so much, Ray, for bringing it. Right,
He's going to top out. Go on,
Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams,
This noisy devil.
come down here.
Right, a little bit for you film buffs as well now. So Bernie will update you.
Okay, Neil, if you can switch off, please, that'd be great. Right, ladies and gents, this underneath is a Land Rover. It was a Land Rover 1014 Control. The film Judge Dredd, which stars Sylvester Stallone.
Bernie was the one, that was a military vehicle, was it?
It was a military vehicle.
Yeah.
I think there is actually one here, I think.
It's like a Toyota Hiace, one of those.
It's bigger than
one of
so
those.
if you look through into the military section later on, it's just by that in front of that telegraph post. There's a Land Rover 101 there. That's what it's based on. So this inside is the chassis, the axles, the cab, engine and box. So when they were bought for the film set back in the 90s, they had these, which was a futuristic cab.
Right.
For Sylvester Stallone played in the film, and it was a London cab. It was an American cab, was it, Neil?
They called it a city cab.
A city cab.
Yes, a city cab. It's portrayed as being a self-driving taxi, and the idea was that you jumped in the back, showed your credit chip, and told it where to go, and it drove you autonomously to where you wanted to be.
Which is not far off, really, the way we're going now.
Well, possibly not. So, yeah.
So these self-drive vehicles, everything's carved these days.
Yes, well, this needs to be self-driving because it's not nice to drive.
Now I can see with your knees up round your chin, it's not the best driving position.
And you can't see out the window very well either. That's why I've got cameras and a TV screen.
So for you who want to see this on stand later on, all Neil's got is to look through this here. So what he's actually done is put a computer screen inside, and he's got cameras. Camera here, cameras around here, just so we can see where he's going. Cameras in the back because he can't see when he reverses. So obviously Neil's put this in for his own safety. They wouldn't have this in originally.
All I can see out the window is the fence and about 2 foot of grass in front of me by that newspaper. I can't see anything else.
Right, okay. So how long have you had this, Neil?
About 2 years, I think now, 2-3 years.
And I know you've done some various modifications, but as it is, it's pretty well as it left the film set.
Yes, in exception of those 3 big Land Rover stickers, it's as it came off the movie.
That's great. Thanks for bringing it along. Thank you, Neil.
Soon. Out through the top. Oh, go on, mate. Yeah, that one. Right, motorbike stewards, let's have them in. Yeah, go on, you can go round once and have a play. Here he comes, Easy Rider. No passing and behaving like brats. Take your time. Sorry, but I've got to have rules. Okay, yeah, start lining them up. Alright then, we'll do this end. Come on then, Easy Rider.
Go on, Trike, we'll go down to Dave.
If you'll come up here.
That's it, the two trikes next to each other. That's it, line up now, all the way down.
He is probably one of the oldest here and he's the biggest bloody kid. Isn't it nice when you can smile and just have a little